Members of Parliament of the National Unity Platform flanked the leader of the opposition in Parliament, Ssenyonyi, to address claims of corruption against the top leadership of the institution who are mentioned for involvement. With the matter playing out in the public domain for 3 weeks now, having cascaded from the microblogging website X and driven by a group of activists, investigations are now being conducted by the Office of the Auditor General. On Wednesday, the Inspectorate of Government announced that it would no longer be taking part in the investigation.
But I'm also told that the Office of the Auditor General is already investigating Parliament. So normally in our working methods, we don't crowd.
Members of the National Unity Platform are alarmed by the decision of the Inspectorate of Government.
Wait a minute. IGG, what exactly are you running away from? Why are you running away from your responsibility? Because the mandate of the IGG is clear. Do not run away from your responsibilities, except if you're saying you're too scared as well. So there's no law, because the mandate of the IGG is very clear.
They have hopes that the Inspectorate, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, and the Financial Intelligence Authority, all of which they have written to, will partake in the investigation and have the capacity to conduct them independently.
We understand that the Speaker asked the Auditor General to come and carry out an audit regarding these issues. We are not very convinced about that audit because, one, the Auditor General is an officer of Parliament. Number two, the Auditor General sent the same team that has been auditing Parliament all this while to carry out this special audit as well. They are conflicted.
The issues the group have fronted for investigations concern ascertaining the truth about the claims of a 3.1 billion shillings agreement signed with Mama Bukedea FM, a radio station owned by the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, irregular recruitment of staff, inflated per diem for the Speaker and Clerk to Parliament. They are also looking at clashing dates on which some Parliament officers claim to have travelled abroad and their award of self-benefits to parliamentary commissioners.
Then there's the Speaker's community outreaches, where billions of shillings were put on the accounts of staff members of Parliament. They withdrew that money, took it to the Speaker. There's no law providing for that. How did it happen? What did this money do? Billions of shillings. Because when you see the Assistant Director, 2.4 billion shillings was put on his account. He withdrew and took to the Speaker.
Parliament, through its Director of Communication and Public Affairs, Chris Obore, welcomed the call for the investigations, though with reservations.
Now that he has asked these state institutions, we request that they respect these institutions when they are doing their work. It's one thing to say we have written to them. It is another to respect them and respect the outcomes from what they do. Because Auditor General is staffed by people, with the people who are competent, who are educated. These are certified auditors.
Meanwhile, Ssenyonyi divulged that he had refunded extra money advanced to him for his recent trip to Nairobi.
They had processed money for 5 days, as opposed to 1 day, for which I was in Nairobi, which I had indicated I'll be going for. But I'm told they were processing for several others, so it was done collectively. I said, okay.
For travels abroad, the Department of Finance pays you the days you asked for. The days are not determined by the Department of Finance, but they are determined by the person who is traveling with documentary evidence of the days to be spent, if it is the staff.
When Ssenyonyi raised the concern on the floor of Parliament last week, Among blocked any deliberations on the matter, arguing that she could not respond to social media rumors being spread by persons funded by homosexuals. The Alliance for National Transformation Party has also demanded a forensic audit of Parliament by Auditor General, as well as investigations by the police force, which prefers not to comment on the subject in spite of our repeated requests. Jackson Onyango, NTV.